sourdough sausage roll ready to serve. สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome back to Bim's Kitchen. Today we are making puff pastry sourdough version. Let's get started. The ingredient today I'm going to make quite a lot, so you can have recipe if you want. I have all-purpose flour 1,000 gram. I have 150 gram of butter, cold butter, and I have 20 gram of salt, 60 gram of sugar, 300 gram of sourdough starter, 300 gram of water. So let's get started now. Today I'm using the pot mixer because I want it to be quite elastic or pass the windowpane test. So 300 gram first. Okay, 305, that's okay. We're gonna add the water into the pot. I'm gonna add sourdough starter. This one is, I have half discard and half what I just feed yesterday, but it's all okay. You can use discard for this dough. And then I'm gonna add salt and sugar. I'm gonna let this ingredient mix in the pot first before I add the flour, but I'm gonna use my spatula to help a little bit because my starter is kind of like be a lumpy part, so we can use it. So I'm gonna mix for some time. So after we mix for a while, now we're gonna add the flour. I'm gonna add a little bit by little bit, not a lot in the same time. So this way, let the mixer doing the work for some time, and then we can add more. We can add a little bit more. So about 3 times we add in. Last one. You can see that the dough is kind of crumbly. I'm gonna add about 3 ice cubes in it. So this way we're gonna keep the pot not too hot. So when we put the butter doesn't melt too quick. This is the dough after 15 minutes. You can see it's still crumbly, but don't worry, gonna be continue need another 15 minutes, and then we're gonna add the butter. Okay, start again. After another 15 minutes, so altogether I need about 30 minutes. Let's see, this is the dough that I have. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna use my hand to separate them, help the machine a little bit. So when I mix with the butter, my dough mixing well, so then I don't have to worry that the machine doesn't mix the dough for me well. I'm gonna add all of it in the same time. I'm not gonna separate because the dough is little piece, the butter also cut into the little piece, so they should be mixed well together. Close the lid and start mixing. Check after 30 minutes of mixing. So this dough is mixed for 1 hour. This pot working a little bit slow, and also I like to make sure that I keep temperature right. So my room temperature is quite cold because I don't want the pot to be overheat. Okay, let me check the temperature of the dough. My room is 28, a little bit hot. So the dough is done. We're gonna rest the dough for 30 minutes and then we're coming back. Now during the dough is rest in the fridge for 30 minutes, we're gonna prepare the butter block. I use this brand is for making croissant. The butter is kind of like harder than the normal one, so this one for croissant butter. So I need for the dough 1000 grams of flour. I'm gonna separate the dough into two part, half. So half of the dough I'm gonna use 250 gram of butter. Half of the dough is mean 500 gram of flour. I use 250 gram of butter. Now I'm gonna use a rolling pin to roll the butter into nice rectangle shape. So when we put into the dough for laminate, it's gonna be easier, and the texture is just right for the lamination. Okay, this is the dough after we rest for 30 minutes. I can check there is gluten has developed. I'm gonna cut into half. I'm gonna freeze this dough for later. When I want to make it, I can use it. Now we're gonna use this dough to make our bread. Okay, this is the dough we're gonna laminate with our butter, block butter. For that, I'm gonna dust my counter and make sure that the dough is equally. Okay, we roll the dough out into 27 wide and 44 long. 26 and 44. And then we make the butter block. So basically the butter block is half of the dough. So what we're doing here, we're gonna cut the butter block and put into the dough to laminate. Okay, this is the butter block, half of the dough. So I want you to see the thick of the butter block. It should be like this. Okay, so you can be able to bend it. So this way you can roll it out nicely. I roll into plastic bag so it's easy to handle. So I'm just gonna set the dough to make sure it's in the middle, like that. So once you have that, just peel the plastic out and then fold it in and then fold it past in. So you seal it, and also here make sure you seal it up properly so the butter is not leaking. So we laminate the butter nice block. Now we're gonna roll the dough in. Roll the dough out this side. Gently in the same time we have to make sure the butter block is not leaking, so you have to seal up properly. Back to the same length again. Here I'm gonna trim the edge a little bit. Okay. Then I'm gonna make it 4. After 30 minutes, we're gonna roll the dough out again. Plastic bag. And
This time I'm gonna roll the dough out same length as my cutting board. This one was I wrote it out already. 45 centimeter wide and 65 centimeter long. After I smooth the dough out, I'm gonna trim the edge off. So when I fold it, they make it nice and equal part. I fold it like envelope again, and I'm gonna cover with plastic bag and rest for 30 minutes. After rest the dough for 30 minutes, I take the dough out and I cut in half. It's easy to rotate. If I'm not cutting in half, my cutting board is not big enough to rotate out. And then I put the other half of my dough into the fridge. Later on, I can rotate it out again. So I use my rolling pin to rotate it out. Same length as my cutting board again. 45 centimeter wide and 65 centimeter long. This is what you get: beautiful, smooth sourdough puff pastry sheet. Now, with this puff pastry sheet, you can use it right away like I do and make sausage roll, or you have another options. You can use parchment paper to put on top of the dough, same size and same length of the sheet, and then you roll it up and put into some container or plastic bag, and you can freeze it up to 2 months. When you want to use it, you just defrost it and use it like normal fresh dough. Today we're gonna make sausage roll. For the sausage meat, you can use your own sausage that you make. I have the recipe I'm gonna put in the link for you, but this time I have no time to make sausage meat. I just bought it from the supermarket. This brand I've been using them for a long time. This one is an English sausage version. They're very nice and tasty. Some of my friends said I can use the Italian sausage. I never tried that. I will try it next time. So what you do is you just roll the sausage and make sure that cover all the sausage inside the dough. As you can see, before I put the sausage into the pastry, wrap into the pastry, I use some fork or scissor to cut the sausage case, so when it's cooked they not get shrink, so you have a nice shape of your sausage roll when you bake it. Now put the sausage roll into the tray with parchment paper. When you bake, there is not stick into the pan. And then after that, you just use your sharp knife to score the top of the sausage roll. When they bake, they have nice, beautiful strip onto the your sausage roll. It make it the dough puff up nicely as well. Then go ahead and brush with your egg wash. I coat it about 2 or 3 times because I want it to be nice and golden color after baking. I preheat my oven at 220 degrees Celsius. Bake my sausage roll for 15 minutes and then I roll the temperature down to 190 and bake another 15 minutes. Baking this way, I can make sure that my sausage meat inside has cooked properly, and in the same time, my puff pastry has separated the layer nicely. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much.